All right, where were we? Oh, I see. Okay, so that's how we do photo mode. All right, cool.
She's going to die.
I'm tempted to do, like, you know me, I'm a big photo mode nerd, but I kind of just want to play the game. Like, with Horizon, it was so much more open and I could wander around, but this feels like driven. I feel like pulled forward. Also, we're going to go and...
Sort. The
take on the fire
giant has
giant.
answered. He comes from a land older than mankind. And the Northmen call upon his flaming sword to raise their enemies to the ground. Find him, Senua. And spill his blood.
Okay. I will. Yeah, we can see that it's
She
blocked.
found the wretched old fool on her way back from the wilds. An outcast. He was badly burnt all over. She took pity on him, for he was not long for this world. Like her, who spoke of his own darkness. The Northmen.
Love how the camera snaps to her face if we get close like that.
The Northmen say that in the beginning there was nothing but darkness. Bitter cold to the north, fiery hot to the south. They say the cold formed ice, which melted from the sparks from the south. The power of the darkness gave life to the dripping ice, and the first giant was born, and was named Ymir. The ice continued to drip, and the power of the void gave life to it, and it became a cow, whose milk fed the giant. That's right, a cow. Bet you weren't expecting that.
It's weird. The game... I don't know, maybe it's because they have the same... Maybe because they have the same themes. Or some similar themes anyway. The game really is giving me like a 12 Monkeys vibe. Which is weird because they're very far apart in a lot of ways. But yeah, has some similar stuff going on. All right, fire giant.
The Northmen tell this story. Before the earth was created, there was a world called Muspel. Because it was in the south, it was bright and hot, flaming, burning. Sparks that flew out from Muspel became the stars. Other sparks melted ice in the frozen world of Niflheim, creating the body of the first giant, Ymir. Muspel is one of the 9 worlds, and is now the land of the fire giants. And people from elsewhere cannot endure a journey there.
Whoa, look at that face.
Senua, we each walk these lands gazing towards different horizons, some of us further than others. Your father cannot see what you see, but there is nothing wrong with seeing the world the way you do.
Thanks, Mom. Whoa. You can hear her voice getting all fraught. Ugh. Like you're underwater?
They're winning. Finish this. End it now.
Horrifying masked dudes. I'm actually surprised that the combat isn't like more brutal.
Come this far, she needs to keep going. She can anticipate her moves.
Like severed limbs and what have you. I do like that the game doesn't teach you anything about how to fight or like what to do. There's no press these buttons, do this stuff. It's just like figure it out, or I guess you can look at the controls, but
Still smell it. The sweet, sickly stench of burning human flesh. And I still hear their cries carried in the wind. Do you hear them too, Senua?
it's like we I feel like we're being driven by his
And I still hear them now.
quest, not ours, you know? Like he feels like a very manipulating voice. So where's the oh.
Focus. You can hear the rooms.
Find the rooms.
Yeah, the sound design is magnificent. The creaking of her clothes, the sort of rustling of her equipment.
The rooms.
Screams will help you.
The screams will help you.
What's that sound? Screaming.
Are they screaming?
Definitely don't hear any screaming.
Follow the screams.
Oh boy.
You can hear the rooms.
Find the rooms.
the rooms?
Screams will help you. Towards the rooms, are important. What's that sound?
Are they screaming?
There it is.
The path to Hellham is sealed for the living. And you already walk amongst the dead. Look towards the gate, and you will see that it has opened. When they first came to my lands, I knew enough of their tongue to beg for mercy, and they took me as a slave. I wish now that they had slaughtered me like the others. I rode their storm of fire, death, and slavery to many lands. This darkness you speak of? I know it well.
And I'm still here to fight it.
Yeah, it's like it's not my mission to like kill the Northmen and get revenge. Like she's a person with mental illness, and I feel like she's been manipulated by this guy who I guess is dead now. But like I imagine he spent most of their relationship just like telling her how much he hated the Northmen and how terrible they were and about their awful stories. Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, Jesus.
They've surrounded you. She's not strong enough. Take it down. Take it down now. Watch out.
Okay, alright, behind me.
He's a better fighter.
Oh,
Get up quick.
go.
She can still do it.
Backing me into a corner.
It's too slow.
It's interesting that my slows seem to be, or my swings seem to be slowing the more injured I am. Or it might just be a product of the game and the way that the animations change. But it does definitely seem like she gets tired.
Finished him.
Whew. All right. But then their bodies just disappear. Like, I can't imagine that. I mean, I don't think they're real. I think I'm wandering around in an empty land. I can't imagine those demons are like a real thing. Also, like, I don't have any lasting wounds.
When you see a fire gate of Surt, know that only a sacrifice will stoke the fires of Muspel and let the dead walk through. Find the fire, Senua, to follow the path to Surt.
Find the fire. I mean, besides these two fires, I guess.
It's there. There it is. Focus. In front of you.
Big pile of corpses. There we go. I love how the voice was saying you're going the wrong way, but the bodies are reaching for the Sirta gate.
Hell will not give you the answers you want. But you mustn't look away from the horrors it does offer. Because you cannot overcome suffering if you refuse to look at it.
That doesn't seem like good advice to me.
What's happening?
Where's the fire gone? Where's it gone?
The fire's disappeared.
It was everywhere.
Maybe it was an illusion.
It was a trick. Maybe it was never there.
The pyre.
Surt.
Surt is through
Waiting
there.
for you. He's waiting for her. You can't get through. How will she get through?
She'll need to find another way.
Truth said, find your own path.
So her,
There's always
it's interesting. Her
There's always a way.
her desperation
Just have
for
to find it.
like matching the runes in the world to move her through it reminds me of Brother Miro in Burning Wheel, right? The always stop to listen for a sign of the angels, like that kind of obsessive. That kind of obsessive, like, oh, the patterns in the wind or the sound of chimes. It's the angels speaking to me.
The Northmen say that the defender of Muspel is called Surt, the foremost of the fire giants. His name means the Black One, because he is like something burnt. The Northmen believe that he sits at the border of Muspel with his flaming sword, and at the end of the world he will leave his post. He will travel to Asgard and Midgard, waging war against all the gods. He will be victorious, and then burn the whole world with fire.
I mean, I gotta go and fight this guy. I really don't like or trust Druth, like at all. Like, just, I don't know what it is. Like, I'm protective of the character of Senua. I think because of how vulnerable she obviously is. Like, despite being a warrior, she's, you know, a person with psychosis. She's got some vulnerabilities going on, and I really like that guy. I'm so suspicious of him.
Another fire sacrifice.
Another fire
Another
sacrifice.
sacrifice.
Okay, getting that weird shadow
It's
hallucination
too
again.
far.
She'll never find it. She'll never make her way back.
She needs to remember the way back.
What happens when she finds it?
Everything will burn.
Concentrate. Concentrate on where you're going. She needs to remember the path.
Everything
God.
will burn. Then how will she find the way back?
Just stop. I can't concentrate. Yes, that's the
The
point.
Northmen made fire sacrifices, burning slaves like me to reveal the path to Surt. I searched for meaning in their suffering, in their eyes. But they just screamed like helpless pigs.
No, listen, if I had a problem with playing a video game and having a whole bunch of voices screaming at me about which way to go, if I had that problem, I would need to be in a different line of work. Oh, the shackles? Ugh. Alright, here we go. Oh, that's cheap. It's like, remember the path, and then it immediately blocks the path. The dead point the way. Oh, I was right there. Did I make it? Oh, I did make it. Did I not make it? I can't tell. No, I didn't. Okay. Wow, that's fast. Okay. It wasn't that I got turned around, it's just you have to really go quickly.
Answer your prayers, Senua. I asked the gods for mercy, all of them, even theirs. None answered. In the end, I set myself free. Defy the gods, Senua! Find your own path, like I find mine!
My gods abandoned me. I am alone.
Yeah, the gods will do that. Okay, another gate.
The Northmen believe that the world will be destroyed someday. They call it Ragnarok, the destiny of the gods. Asgard will be attacked by Surt and the fire giants. A monstrous wolf will swallow the sun, and the gods will fight in vain against their enemies. There is nothing they can do to prevent it, but Odin ever seeks knowledge and magic, hoping to find a way to postpone that dark day.
All right. So I'm really curious about what's actually going on, like where she actually is, like just wandering around some abandoned village. Alright, a couple more runes.
The Northmen of Hell worship the Devourers, insatiable gods of darkness. I come from Erin, Senua, where I once followed my own gods, the Tuatha De Danann.
Why did you abandon your gods?
Senua, I was a man of knowledge, not a warrior. To survive, I did things. Bad things. Like you, Senua. The man I once was has died. And when that happens, even gods you worship can die with you.
Runes around here somewhere? I get what they're trying to do with the, like, find meaning in meaningless things, looking for patterns in space, that kind of thing. But I don't know that this is the most elegant way, design-wise, to, like, get this, get that across. God, it's hard. It's hard, but like, yeah, I feel like making you kind of pixel hunt for runes might not be the best approach for this kind of thing. Though I get that that's what they're trying to do, right? That's like Senua's obsession, looking for the runes, that sort of thing. Yeah, it's not a very weighty criticism.
The Northmen believe that the
I know,
world will
dude.
be destroyed someday. They call it Ragnarok, the destiny of the gods. Asgard will be attacked by Surt and the fire giants. A monstrous wolf will swallow the sun, and the gods will fight in vain against their enemies.
Well, I didn't say anything about it being difficult.
There is nothing they can do to prevent it.
It's tedious.
Odin ever seeks knowledge
And that's by
magic,
design.
hoping
I just don't know that
finding
it's
a way
doing
to
what it's
expose that
supposed to
dark day.
do in terms of like what we're meant to take from it. Like, I get that she's obsessive about, like, that it's a product of her psychosis, right? I can't move forward unless I find this thing. You gotta find the pattern to unlock the door. It's not real. It's a comment on the structures of video games, but it's still part of the game, and it's still, yeah, it's still a thing that the player is doing, and the player is not obsessed with it, right? The player is doing it because they have to. The only drive we are that we have is so that we are allowed to continue the game. Unlike Senua, you know, we have another option. We can quit. And I actually don't find that I'm looking for the runes. I'm looking for the game indicating I'm close to the runes, and then just kind of scanning around for them. Aha. I like the idea behind it for sure. I like the concept. Okay, let's see if we can not get burnt to death. Oh, I'm gonna get killed. No. Go. Oh, this one gives me a lot more time. Okay. Off to the right. Oh, come on. I'm just layering my breakdowns now.
He's gone! Don't let me surround you. Use your sword behind you. Behind you! Finish this! Can't do it. You won.
Where the hell did the gate go? There it is. Okay.
You say your world has collapsed. Good. Let it collapse, and have the courage to shed your tears. Raise your world to the prime!
My world is dead.
Only then,
This
as of a
fucking guy.
newborn, will you see the world anew.
He's the guy that tells people to stop taking their meds. You just gotta feel it, man. Just feel it. Come on, you're tougher than this. Druth, I don't like or trust you. I wonder what's causing that. Like, why? Because the game, it's a thing. It's a function of the character. Why don't I like him? Why don't I trust him? He sounds like a fanatic, and maybe it's the inherent distrust that we have of people that sound like fanatics. Those are pretty. These are less pretty. Burnt corpse piles. Another, alright. So this is the trick with a game like this, in that it wants to be impactful, and so it creates these mechanisms that the first time you see them are quite impactful, for sure. But every time you use a mechanism like this, every time you do something like this, it becomes less impactful unless you do it differently, or you reveal something.
Once I found my purpose, I was no longer enslaved to the suffering I had to endure to reach it. Unclouded by fear.
Like that. She never actually touches the door.
Clearly in others. Even my captors feared the fire of Cirth. And so, during one raid, I took my chance and ran, knowing that they would not follow. The fool ran into the fire. They left me for dead. Maybe they were right to. But here I am. Free.
Yeah, I mean, it's really clear that he has some kind of like post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah, like I wouldn't have made it without you, and yeah. Maybe from a different angle. Where is it? Look, I found one. There. I just made it. Give it to me. Yeah, why, why didn't it? It was that one. Wow. And that's the trick with these things. Yeah, like it's a bit picky. All right. Okay. All right. Let's get back down. Right, you're not meant to walk around in focus. You're supposed to find it and then focus on it. I don't know if tedium is the point. God, and we've talked about this so many times. Like, I wonder if the designers were like, we wanted it to be a bit boring, like a bit picky, that you had to kind of fidget around to find it, to represent something in the narrative. Oh, I see this one. Hi. There we go. Yeah, pattern is the point, right? Obsessiveness, hunting. And I wish that you could make it yourself, right? Like there would have to be a bunch of different ways to solve it, because the thing about obsession is she's not looking for a specific. All right, here's the trick. So we're looking for the game's specific solution. She would be looking for solutions everywhere, right? She would be like, it's in the water and the sticks and that sunbeam, right? She would build that obsessiveness into the world around her. Certainly more likely than looking for like a very specific one. But how to do that, right? Like acknowledging that that's a difficult task. I get what they're trying to do, and I think that they're doing it in a way that isn't. I've certainly never seen it before. It's certainly doing something new, and I'm definitely interested in it. I think it's cool, but I also think that maybe they're doing too much of it. Like I feel like they've already kind of worn it thin. Hi, I see you. All right, the door's open. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good idea, overutilized. I wonder if they worried the game would be too short without all these sort of puzzles.
Senua,
If I can survive the fire of Celtic and escape my darkness.
All right, so this is supposed to be this is either a race or a trick, because I have to run. I assume I have to run straight up that way, but it's probably gonna collapse. Let's see what happens.
Run, Senua! Run! Through the fire! Keep running! Go on! Nothing will stop you! Run, Senua!
Into the fire. So this game definitely has the best horrific screaming of any game I've ever played. Thanks, Druth. Thanks. Whoa, look, I don't have my makeup on.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This darkness takes everything. Everyone.
Senua, are you sure you want to do this? We can fight this together, side by side. We always do.
This is my battle. I have to face it alone, away from here.
Where will you go?
I don't know.
For how long?
I don't know.
God, the externalizing of mental health, right? Of mental illness, that like the darkness, it's inside you, but you're externalizing it because that's how your mythology works.
You know that. Just promise me that you will come back to me. I want you to say it. I want you to say it.
I will come back to you. I promise.
Come on.
I wonder why they made this game about a woman.
Spill the blood of Celtic. Take his mark, and I will cheer you from the underworld.
Jesus.
Forever be in your debt.
Like, do you think it's because narratively we're more comfortable with women having more emotional experiences?
Fight me now!
Yeah. Jesus, buddy. Also, is my little mirror thing glowing? Did you notice that? Or is it just that I can see it? Yeah, there's like a specific band that did the music for this, right? It kind of sounds like...
What's he doing?
Oh yeah, it totally is growing. So yeah, what is he doing? No, stop. Oh, cool. Hi. Okay, so if I focus when he's doing that, something happens. Down we go.
Defend yourself!
She's injured.
I'm so slow now. Alright, so we attack him when he does that. Only the focus ability lets us overcome that. I have my focus ability back, please? There we go.
You can do this.
Oh shit.
Stop him! Stop him! He's strong! Right now!
See you later, wicked Norse pyramid head.
For every battle won, a greater battle takes its place. And so it goes. Until we fall. And in the end, we all fall. Even the gods have their time. Yet we still go on. Why?
I made a promise, and I will go to hell to keep
I
it.
die free, knowing you will carry my stories with you. I have fulfilled my quest.
Yes, you have.
When the darkness comes, I vow to guide you in this life and the next to fulfill yours.
Then I will see you in hell.
Be ready to face horror in the eye, as I have. To find your answers. Your quest. Your truth.
Alright. Cool. Well,
Druth was a troubled man. Scholar turned slave. They tortured him. Took him with them on their raids. Drove him to madness. Spreading this new form of darkness to new worlds. To my world. Senua saw a deep connection form between the Northmen and the darkness. His tales of hell were true. Then that was the source of it. She learned everything she could from him. Until she too could see what he saw.
I kind of like that the Vikings are the bad guys in this. You don't see that very often. Unless the protagonists are like the English. But it's interesting. I'm having a hard time thinking of another time where that's been the case. It's neat. It's a neat, like,
Have you ever died before?
way of looking at, yeah, Vikings in a
Serious
game.
question. When the illusion of self is shattered, you simply cease to be. Though it may not seem that way to others, you know when it is true. You can feel it. A stranger in your own body. An imposter. And nothing is the same ever again. Senua has died before. And she will do so again. You can be sure of that.
What's this guy? I want to check something. How do I block? Okay, right bumper. All right.
Don't give up. Don't give up.
Cool, and now I know about my focus ability. Got it.
Surprise him! Behind you! Ended it. Don't let them get behind you. Behind you!
Too early. There we go. Oh, hi. I love how video games have trained me that it's like, as soon as you see a guy with a shield, you have to use a special attack to get the shield out of the way. It's so funny.
Do it! You're close!
The gate won't open.
She can't get through.
Why
Let's go
not?
to the gate.
She can't.
Why?
She's only done one test.
Just one.
She's only passed one test.
What's the other test?
All right, before we go on to the second test, let's take a short break here. Stick around. Valravn next. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.